Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. All right, guys. So, I don't have a lot to do today, but I'm going to, I do actually, I've got some real life stuff going on. My nephew's picking me up in like 40 minutes or something. My car broke down last night. I got to get it. It's not broke down. It's just, I have a flat tire. And of course, I didn't have a spare. So, I have to get it today. Thank you to my nephew for picking me up and making sure I get my car back today. I'm telling you, it's just life. Sweat at keep a donut in your car. Lesson of the day. So, anyways, so I'm going to be talking today about don't underestimate the potential of a game. It's kind of interesting because the reason I'm going to be bringing this up today is there are many, and I'm talking many different products that are out there when we're talking about games in general, and then online games and whatever genre of games. There are tons of games, and with digital download and updates now, I always want to tell players, don't ever underestimate the potential, because this game is a prime example of what a game could become in the right hands and with the company who's willing to, make the right calls, decisions, and investments. And it takes time, and I want to reintegrate this to people who invest in these type of companies. If you rush a product, right, the quality is poor in anything in life. Anytime you rush products out or you try to, take the cheapest route possible, you get less quality in a product. And a consumer can understand when a product doesn't have the quality for what they're willing to pay. But when a product, any product, and it doesn't even matter about games, when a product reflects good quality and good a company that develops a solid product, the consumers stand behind that product for years. It's not just literally like, I remember Craftsman, right? And we still have Craftsman. But at one time, mechanics I know mechanics personally who would use nothing but Craftsman tools, right? Jack, what's up? How you doing? How's that internship, man? How's that internship? But they would use nothing but Craftsman tools. And regardless of how much advertisement went into, trying to commercialize that product line, it always got either a thumbs up or a thumbs down by its consumers. And word of mouth is one of the best marketing tools in history. It's not the manufacturing isn't the oldest profession, but word of mouth is the most reliable form of commercialization. So it's funny to me that when you see a game like something like this that had a rough start and they literally had to take the engine out and redo the engine, and they stuck behind their initial investment. It took some time. It took a lot of loss. You don't rush out products, because then you have recalls and you have all sorts of things. You can lose money by, being a little, when you jump the gun. If you jump the gun too soon, it can cost your company millions of dollars, and that can become a headache within itself. But when you have investors who understand the market, you have a company who understands the design, and you have the patience put forth to, get this put together the right way, you end up with a beautiful product that consumers back. They stay with these type of products. They buy them. The market value doesn't drop as fast. So you see, a suggested the market suggested retail price, the MSRP, set at 60, and typically when games are not doing so well right from the rip, you see the dramatic cut cost. But if it does well, it sustains the MSRP longer. And then it makes the slight adjustment for more accessibility to the audience, the target audience. And that reflects, the quality. So it's always saying, if you have good quality, consumers will pay that price for quality. You can't ask something crazy like $1 million, but when you set a target, that target can retain a lot more because its audience is satisfied, it's getting word of mouth, it's growing, and you're not having to make those sacrifices financially to gain your return back. And it's interesting because I'm like, there are a lot of games out there that have potential to be something great. They have the foundation, but they lack direction, either from, executive decision, leading or resource management from, the board, or development aspect. So there's 3 different ways I look at it. It's, game or product direction or development, or not development, production of what we're doing. And that's executive. That's like, this is what we're doing with this game. This is how we're marketing it. This is, all of these are like, the office people. But then that's handed down by the executives. And then you have the financial responsibility from the directors, the board, and the stock, the people who are invested, usually the board. So they're saying, oh, well, we're putting this much of our return, or this is how much we're putting towards the development. And then that gives you how much you can, how much your hiring power, your tools, everything accessible. And then you have your development team, your talent, the talent behind it. So it's like, okay, here's the money, here's the people making the decisions, and then we have development. So 3-stage process. If one of those are missing, then you have problems with your potential product in any business, right? In any business. So, the board always wants to see what's the return to the investment. It's the important aspect. What's the return to the investment? How much is it costing us? How much are we looking to reap? Well, there's always potential, if it's done correctly. But once again, if you try to pour millions into a game and it doesn't have the direction from the executives, then you're just throwing money away. So you could literally say, we have the talent, we have the money, but we lack the direction. Or vice versa, we have the direction, we have the money, but we don't have the talent to develop it. All of these play a part in developing games. The same thing with any type of labor. So I just keep going back to it. Like when I play an MMO and I get on any MMO, not just this, I've been playing this for a little over a month now, about a month and a half. I literally dissect the pros and cons of the game. What's going on, what's broken, what needs addressed, and what potential it has with its current system, or what system rehauls it needs. That's just who I am. That's how I function as, a player and tester. But when you have to, and people have to understand, when you're coming from a gamer's perspective. I come from a gamer's perspective. Why? Because I am a gamer. So if I tested for companies in the past, I'm like, listen, I'm going to give you my perspective from other products I've played that have similar features. Okay? So I'll tell you what I like, what I don't like. If I don't like something, why don't I like it? You know, I'm pretty open minded when it comes to a lot of mechanics and scenes and settings. So, I mean, it's kind of sad that we have more fantasy based MMOs. Like DC, to me, has some of the best combats. DCUO has some of the best combat, Twitch gameplay in MMOs, period. But it's because of the team size and the content that most players don't try it. But I'm like, listen, if you don't like superheroes, I understand. I get it. That's some people just don't want a superhero, don't want to experience a superhero MMO. But from my perspective, it's one of the better superhero MMOs because of its tie with the DC universe. But a lot of people don't want to go ahead and try that type of game. And why? Because it's a genre thing. Science fiction. We have a very select science fiction type genre pull to the MMO
Hello.
community. Yo, what's up? Hercules, what's up, brother? You caught me off guard. I thought you were hot for a second. How you doing? Can you hear me? Hercules.
Doug here. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Okay.
I'm
Oh,
echoing a little bit, but how you doing?
doing pretty good.
So, are you watching my stream?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm on Final Fantasy right now too.
Now, so it was weird. Swig, well, it's not weird. Swig actually joined up in our server yesterday. I actually had to help him out trying to locate the server. He was in the West Coast server, so
Hmm.
we had to go back and pull him out of that West Coast server. It was in Primal server
Oh yeah.
selection, yeah. So and then of course he found Cyrene, and then he already had like a level, I think 14 or something. He's like, well, should I do a character transfer? I'm like, at level 14, no, just start a new one. I'm like, I know it sucks, but it'll save you 18 bucks. Well, you can get that done in like 3 or 4 days, you know?
Yeah.
I got a quick stream today. I have to leave in like 20 minutes, and I'm still waiting for, I'm DPS, I'm queued for my raid. But it said it needed DPS.
Oh
Oh,
no.
now it went to tank. Go figure. Go figure. So how you doing today, brother?
Doing pretty good.
Pretty
Trying to
good.
level up this tank.
How's that warrior? Yeah, how is he?
I'm close to 60 on this guy.
It's not too bad.
Okay, man. Yeah, I haven't been on in a few days, so so now I'm trying to. I can go on now, so
Actually, let
trying to
me
really grind it.
gonna withdraw this one. I'll
I
just
want to get my other tanks up there too before July.
Yeah,
I was
but
first.
if you get that, did you get your pre-order in for Shadowbringers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're supposed to be getting the thing
once
soon.
that heirloom drops, you'll be getting that heirloom, that 30% increase.
I can't wait for that. That's what helped me a lot. And it's
Dude,
like an earring, I think.
it's
Yeah,
an
it's
earring.
earring, so it doesn't like take up a body piece or anything.
Right, right. And one of the things I'm going to love about it is going to help me for my crafting.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Because
my
that's a
god.
pain to level up.
Dude, it's a little bit more time consuming with the crafting, especially with how many resources there are. I was just talking to somebody about that because, like, most of the time our end game raids or our slayers will drop. Like, I think the top what I'm looked up, the top crafted piece is a 390 gear score, and the top drop is a 400. So that's not too bad, you know, between the two.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And then I always hear, like, depending on the updates, sometimes they'll update the crafting first, where the crafting gets the best in slot up until the new alliance raids become available, or the new slayer modes. That's not bad either.
Yeah, that's not bad. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes that happens. They'll have the crafting gear strongest, but
Right,
when
right, where it
they're
becomes your best in
crafting gear,
slot for that update.
yeah, you can wear the crafting gear and get into anything really.
Right, and I really like that because it's like, okay, I mean, it depends where you are in your gameplay. But just to know that your crafting gear can even get you a high enough gear score to get you into your, your end game is pretty phenomenal. But resources kind of crazy. Robert, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? How you doing? How's work been going, Robert? So yeah, today I'm talking about about the potential of games, and no matter what, dude, like I feel like you can never underestimate a game. It's always there's always something that could be done. Like I always tell people, it's funny because NC Soft years ago scrapped a couple games. One of them being City of Heroes, City of Villains, and
Yeah.
I was like, when I was playing when that was announced, and Cryptic did such a good job with that product, and it was loved by its community. And I understand from a financial reason why games do have to either adapt or something has to give, right? Because it costs money to keep products running. It does. You can't,
Right.
in an ideal world, we would like to keep every game running that we love, but unfortunately, because of the competitive market, we companies can't afford that to do that financially. So I always say, depending on how a product is managed, love you too, baby. I love all of you guys, and so depending
Yeah.
how a product is managed, as my wife, but I'm just saying because everybody heard me say I love you. Depending how a
Uh,
product is managed, it can have some of these, um, you know, unfortunate setbacks, or crash altogether. Doing well. Finally got a new position at work, so that's my high. Nice, excellent, congratulations. Highlight of the year. You got that promotion? Is it the promotion? If it is, Grad's brother, congratulations. I appreciate. I mean, I'm really happy that you got that. If that was that promotion you were looking for. See, I pay attention to all of you. Don't think I don't. I know a lot of people are upset. I'm still have that problem, Hercules, where people are a little upset with me. But Zai stopped in yesterday to talk. We were just bullshitting. We were,
nice.
reminiscing about EQ days and like some of the points in which games progress, where we're going at, how accessible things are. So it's crazy to me. So, and, I feel like when we take a look, and that's another thing. We have so many different genres, but when we take a look at the MMO genre, we see more fantasy-driven content. It
Yeah, it is.
pushed in,
It's more fantasy, like a magical kind of like
right? What
points in some of it.
it is. Thanks, man. No problem, Robert. I'm glad for you, man. You deserve it. You deserve it. Loyalty should be rewarded. I always say that. Loyalty and dedication from a worker and how to incentivize your workforce should be an incentive, to keep very good employees, retain employees. It's all about retention. You work in insurance, you know what retention's about. Retention, retention, retention. It's the business model. It's funny, Hercules, because I actually had a business meeting one day,
Uh huh.
and I literally had told the individual, I'm like, listen, if you're not in business to retain, then what are you hoping to do with the future of any company? Because your product is only as good as your customers realizing your company's, stamp, your company logo. That's like Pepsi. You take a look at Pepsi versus um, Coca-Cola. Have you ever heard of Coca-Cola?
No.
But you've heard of Pepsi.
Yeah, I heard of Pepsi.
Okay. I just made Coca-Cola up. If there's a company out there called Coca-Cola, I'm sorry. But anyways, what I'm saying is we recognize one product over the other, right or wrong.
Right.
Coca-Cola could have a more reasonable price associated, right? In every means possible, Coca-Cola could be just as good as Pepsi. But because we recognize Pepsi, it's retaining customers, acknowledge any products that Pepsi delivers. And it's not just marketing, it's literally the consumer base that recognizes that brand. So it's retaining the consumer. Your brand retains consumer by identification. You know, it's all about that. Oh, hell no. This is the one I had. Oh, no, I've done this one. Never mind. This is the ducked one. Ah! Okay. Hold on, I gotta take this. All right, here we go. I apologize about that, everybody. Okay, it's gonna pick some random people, put them in a gate. They gotta. There's nothing we can do about this. It's a mechanic. There they go in their jail cell. The off tank will get the ads. I stay on the boss. I always want to pay attention to shield breakers as much as possible. A lot of people want to, like, you know, get more up on their shields, but remember, healing's a form of mitigation as well. So as soon as it breaks, you just rapid heal. also remember certain abilities will reduce damage as well. So keep the game.
Which are you in?
I forget which one this is. It's the normal raid. I forget the title of this one. It's Hand of... I want to say it's one of the sons, actually.
Oh, okay.
You know which ones I'm talking about?
I think so.
The 8-man raid. There's like 8 of them in Heaven's Ward, and then I want to say there's a couple in Stormblood. I still have to unlock the other ones in Stormblood. 50k, health. That looks good on mitigation.
Yeah, the ones in Stormblood, those raids, some of them get kind of
hard. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Like extreme, like, you know, to get your like other stuff for extremes, man, crazy. Crazy, like how the mechanics amp up, you know?
Yeah, they do. Like this one I did the other day was the Suzuki one. I haven't even wanted to touch like the new one yet. I'm still waiting because I heard that one's pretty hard too. But I did the extreme one time, and it was like, wow, they're different from like the normal ones. Like the mechanics, they enhance and they add new mechanics in there. So even if you like used to the like normal version, the hard extreme version is way like it feels different. It feels like a new child almost.
It's crazy. It's nuts. I don't know if I can get in my other raid or not. Want to try, dude? I'm like, yesterday I'm finalizing my Stormblood content, and I got level locked. Yeah, no, but I'm at this point where I have to be 60. I was 64, got it, and then now I have to be at 65, which, you know, I'm gonna get it by doing my stuff, but you know, it's like, ah, shit, I'm level locked. I'm level locked, you know. So, oh shit. Let me withdraw real quick because I got to repair. But no, there's a lot of things that I feel like every game can, you know, win. Like, oh, look at World of Warcraft, the Titan, the King, the company that sets the standards in the past. How far they've tumbled in the last year. Not to say that they've fallen, but they've tumbled. You know, that they've it's kind of, you know, swung in a different direction. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's the end of MMOs." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Sooner or later, a company of that size has to, you know, go through something. And I always say, you might not be the top dog, but if you're still making money and you're still, you know, managing a company correctly, you could be. Because sooner or later, a company as big as even Blizzard will miss the mark where the customers were wanting something and they completely went in the opposite direction, didn't hear the consumers, and then guess what ends up happening? They fall hard. You know?
Yeah, I was surprised when I seen that.
Yo, like, Kel, what's up? Dude, by the way, Kel, I just saw your comment on is Final Fantasy 14 devs lazy? And I loved your comment. I didn't get to hit it, but I loved your feedback and how you compared it. And, you know, and this is exactly the point, Hercules. Like, you gave me the recommendation to try this game, right?
Yeah, I did.
And I was apprehensive because I played Final Fantasy 11, and I was like, I wasn't impressed with Final. A lot of people love Final Fantasy 11. I wasn't impressed with it, and was like, it's a good game. It's not my game. It's not my cup of tea.
Right.
And I was apprehensive. I was like, but I tried Final Fantasy 11 and Final Fantasy 14 had all these issues in the beginning. It was just like it was a train wreck. It can't be that good. And coming then, of course, I got to try the free trial. Fell in love with it. A week later, I'm in, right? And then Kel didn't even last 3 days, and it was like they took the time to properly manage the product. And I want to thank you, man, for making the recommendation because I'm having a blast. I'm actually having, yeah, I am, dude. Dude, I went into the diving thing. Oh my God, I got to do this really quick. This was probably one of my favorite parts to do. And I'll go to the, which one is it? Yanaxi. This was my favorite part. No, I'll go to the Ruby Sea. That one's good. No. This was my favorite part yesterday, doing this. So I unlocked my flying, and I was like, oh my God. And,
oh, yeah, the flying.
Well, it wasn't just the flying. It was being able to dive from flight.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. And I was like, amazing. Friggin' amazing. So let me show you guys this, okay? And it's storming. I love how they have, the weather conditions. Most games do. But, okay, so check this out. So I'm flying. I'm over the water. And I'm going to nosedive right into this bitch. Now, watch this. Watch it. I just dove into the water, and now I'm swimming with my mount.
I like how they transition. Like
right.
You're actually swimming underwater, like you're actually underwater, not on top of it. Swimming, you're underneath the water. That blew me away.
Did you notice, depending on the weather, the water conditions can change too, from clear to murky and all that stuff?
Yeah.
And dark and light.
I seen that. I was like, how in the hell did company come up with such a brilliant idea like that?
Right. I was like, oh my God. Now watch. I'm going to take off. And now I'm back up in the air. Oh my God. It's true. Yeah. It is true. Kel didn't even last 3 days. He was like, I'm sold. I'm sold. Yeah, I'm not even going to be able to get this their dungeon in. My nephew's coming within like 5-10 minutes. That sucks. But honestly, like, I'll tell you what, guys. This is the potential any game could have. Don't ever... Final Fantasy 14 had a wreck of a launch. It literally had to reset a new engine and put the source code in a new engine. Insert the source code to the new engine. It had to literally... It had a free-to-play model until it revamped A Realm Reborn. And then The Realm Reborn relaunched a subscription-based model. And then on top of it... When you didn't think, you thought, okay, it went from terrible to good to getting really good with its campaign, with its expansions, because it only releases an expansion every 2 years. Now you have one of the most anticipated expansions coming to the MMO with Shadowbringer, and it's like the game went from trash in the beginning, but instead of Square Enix abandoning their product, it's now become their flagship. The game that launched as trash now is Square Enix flagship. And the point of this video and this stream today is you do not underestimate the potential. But it takes people and the right type of people. The right type of people to put something like this together. Sometimes you have to move things and put the people in the right positioning to make these type of things happen. They don't happen on their own. And even from, you could even have, listen, and I literally had a meeting where I wanted to develop a company, and that's more than likely is not happening in this state. I'll just be honest with you guys. Not because I don't want it to happen. It's just because you can't fix people who don't understand. I could sit there and literally talk till I'm blue in the face. If they don't get it, they don't get it. And you don't want to do business with people like that. You just don't. It's a bad decision. And this is what I was just about to reference. You could have the talent. You could have the executives who can direct to give proper direction in which the company needs to head. But let's say from a board's perspective, if you don't have a capable or a resourceful board members and solid investors who understand what it takes to get here, to get where Square Enix is with this product, then you're in trouble from the start. Because I always said I could take an investor's money, but if the investors all at 6 months, when we start development 6 months from now, where's my money? Not asking where are we at, asking me where's my money, instead of asking the right question, where are we at, what's the next, then you already got problems. You already have problems. And you need the right type of people to reap the benefits of these seeds that are being sown. Because if you throw in a seed, you can plant anything in the ground. But if you don't water it, if you don't give it nourishment, if you don't even give it sunlight, it's going to die. Nothing, even an MMO is just like a plant in that way. You can have the seeds, you can throw it in the dirt, but unless it has the right conditions to flourish, it will never grow to its full potential. So that's probably the best analogy I can give. David, what's up? How you doing, man? That's awesome documentary about Final Fantasy 14. I'll post it in Discord. It was a good one, right? It was a good video. Around and about, I need to get back onto Xbox this week. You've been on PC too much. Yeah, how is PC gaming, man? I keep forgetting you got a PC. How you liking that, Robert? Different? I want Final Fantasy. I wish Final Fantasy 14 didn't have monthly subscription. I love the subscription. I mean, I get what you're saying, David. Like, it would be nice if it had options, like an optional aspect to the business model. So I know what you're saying, but I like it. Why? Because I don't get commercials like coming in asking me for microtransactions. I know where my money's going. I'll pay for a subscription every day of the week if it performs like this. And if you want to have optional microtransactions, that's fine. Just don't flood me with the commercials. A touch, haha, been helping the fiance out with the rescue as well. So I mean, by the way, congratulations if you're getting married, Robert. I was like, fiance, are you getting married? Looking back, I'm like thrown back. Congratulations. Now, Spartacus, did you get to, yeah. Did you, Dave, did you get to download this game on your laptop? And if you did, how's it performing on the laptop? That was another question I had. Because once again, everybody's laptops are different. I've seen the most decked out gaming laptops that you're like, oh my God, that is crazy. Then I've seen average laptops do well. So I don't know your configuration. But if you've downloaded this on laptop, I would like to hear how your experience is on the laptop. Because I prefer a desktop. I have a laptop, but I prefer desktops. Yes, it's like ESO model, buy to play. The subscription is optional. Yeah. Yeah, I knew what you meant. I love it. I need to figure out the mouse and keyboard, though. Got you. Well, you know, you have so much access. You can use a controller, though. If you're playing Elder Scrolls on PC, you can use your Xbox controller, Robert. So heads up. When I played on PC and ESO, I can use a controller. This game, too, you can use a controller. A lot of games now, Black Desert Online PC controller is enabled. ESO PC controllers enabled. Final Fantasy controllers enabled. And I do believe you can configure a controller for a game like World of Warcraft. Though I'm not sure 100%. Even DCUO PC controller enabled. So a lot of games do have controller enabled. It runs great. My laptop is beast. Sweet. Dude, are you playing this? If you're playing this, did you get in Sirene's server? And if you did, what is your character name? And you need to join my Discord. Because we're always on Discord. And Robert, make sure you get on my Discord, man. We're always hanging out here. You guys can stop in bullshit. We're always just bullshitting. So we're always playing and bullshitting. You still there, Hercules? I think Hercules is still here. No, he must have had to bounce. But like Hercules stops in, we'll type, we'll get in whatever. But make sure you guys get in my add me. I'll talk to her about that for you. They do some transporting of dogs. Yes, like ESO. Yeah. You know, Final Fantasy 14, I understand why it doesn't have that option, because we don't have any perks. We don't have additional perks. So it's like our bags are our bags. The way everything works is the way it works. Like I'll pay for it. I'll pay if, you know, if Elder Scrolls said we're going subscription based model tomorrow, we're going to upgrade our servers. We're putting all new servers in, but because of this, we're dumping our free to play model and going completely subscription based. I would pay because I know where my money's going. That's the way I look at it. If I know where my money is going and how it's being utilized, and that they're needing that type of funding to run option, because the one thing I don't like about the optional service is it has flaws in as far as like managing money from a business perspective. Meaning not everybody pays the monthly sub, and then the company, when it needs more money for development or for these expenditures, they're always going to maintain their percentage of profit. So the percentage of profit's they're always going to try to make the percentage of profit as higher as possible to entice investors. So the pop is never supposed to decline, because if it declines, investors flee, right? That's the problem with pop, what I like to call pop. What it's called percentage of profit or net gain, what the net gain is. And if that starts declining, right, investors flee. So what do? They cut costs elsewhere other than say, okay, we're going to take money out of your pocket to put towards the product. No, investors don't want to hear that. It's kind of an oxymoron in that way. You're investing to get money, but if it's costing you money without the return. Like I told literally the guys up here, I'm like, it takes 5 years to develop. Their mouths just dropped. I'm like, I don't want your money. I don't want your money. You would be a terrible investor for an MMO. You would be the worst. You'd be my nightmare investor. All I need from you is this. I don't want you to be an investor, because you don't have the mentality to reap the benefits of an MMO company. You're the type of person looking for quick cash and get the fuck out. I wouldn't want you. That's not who it is. I need the people who understand the time, the resources to reap the benefits. That's what I was looking for when I was hoping to do it. But, you know, the thing about it is, if it's a subscription-based model, I will pay for services that are being sustained. You can tried WoW on a controller. It was doable, but weird. Okay. I use the controller right now. Just realize how much more responsive the mouse and keyboard are. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you do have a point there, Robert. Not yet. Too many games coming out. Yeah, Anthem, BDO, Jump Force, and ESO. Yeah, a lot of products, man. I've paid a monthly sub for ESO since the Jump, so no difference to me. All I did was drop that sub for Final Fantasy 14. That's what I did. Right. That's exactly what I did. It was like I would rather pay a sub. If I know where my money, and I'll pay it. I'll gladly pay it and support a company. I'll even buy additional things when I can, and if I can afford it. If I can afford it, I'll even buy microtransactions, not because I necessarily want to, because I want to show support to the company. So it's like, okay, hey, I got an extra 20 bucks. I'll go buy something in the item shop. Let's see what they got. I might buy a couple of costumes. I might buy whatever. See if there's a mount on sale or something. I don't know. But it's just because I love the game so much. And I'm like, hey, I have an extra 20 bucks. I'm going to throw it to the company. That's the way I look at it. Because I know that they're managing my money right. And they're managing people's money right. And they're putting it back to their product. They're reinvesting into the product. If a company's not reinvesting into the product, well, why am I going to pay? And I think you're right. Then why are you paying? You should have a free-to-play option, because the company isn't making the right investments for you to keep paying monthly, in my opinion. And if that's the case, then maybe it needs a little work. Maybe it's not up to a subscription-based standard. But if a quality of a game is superior, then I have no problem paying. None. I have no problem paying. I'll support any game. I was paying monthly in DC because I got access to every DLC. I didn't like the beta thing. And it would save me in the long run. It was like I have access to everything. I don't have to, and I got perks. Now in this game we get bet perks as we progress, but it's nothing like Elder Scrolls or any of the Daybreak's products or anything like that, or even Rifts. Those perks are set to optimize subscriptions. This game's like, hey man, we're going to give you incentive to be for subscribing and saying thank you, but at the same time, you know, we are a subscription-based game. And what we're doing, we're not going to give you fluff, we're going to give you content. We're going to give you quality. That's all I care about. They can take the fluff and shove it up their ass. Don't give me fluff. Don't give me fluff. Give me quality. If I'm paying, I want quality. That's what I want. If I'm paying monthly and I buy the game for 60 bucks and I buy extra perks and I buy extra shit, deliver me quality. And I will pay you every day of the week. I will say, here's my money. Take it. Take my money. Because you're giving me what I want. And I'll do it. I'll pay it. I will. That would work, but ESO is my main MMO. STO, DCO, BDO are just some alts, and I wanted FF14 to be an alt as well. Nope, this is not an alt game. This is not an alt game. It's not, because of that subscription. It was weird, because Scott made this a point. He's like, you know, if ESO would fix performance, if they would fix it, you would probably play both. I'm like, oh, like, you mean Elder Scrolls being like an alt game? He's like, yeah, for like PvP or something. I'm like, yeah, I could see that. Could I go back to Elder Scrolls full time? No. Even if they fixed it, they'd have to have it move like butter. I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled now. Square Enix has me spoiled. It's not because they're flying me over to Japan. That's not spoiling me. Spoiling me in a game is performance. Like, let's take a look at this. Dun, 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 dun. Look, 58 frames per second. When I'm in a dungeon, I get 45. I'm always between 45 to 60 frames, no matter what. On this rig. DCUO, I pull 40 to 50 frames, depending. You know, it's hard for me to get 60 for some reason, even though it's smooth. You can't even tell. But it doesn't register right. I don't know. But then I jump into certain games like Black Desert, fluctuates once again. But Black Desert, I can still pull about 45 to 50, depending. And if I'm like not in a congested area and I'm out, I'll pull 60 easy. Soon as I step in fucking Elder Scrolls, I'm fucking getting 30 fucking frames. If I'm in PvP, I get 15. And it's the same fucking rig with optimal settings. No. Fuck! No! Done! I'm fucking done! World of Warcraft, went back to WoW. 60 frames. And that game used to never get 60 frames. World of Warcraft used to top at 30 at the time. I'm like, fuck. I have an 8-core 3.2 processor with fucking hyper-thread board. It's fucking ridiculous. I've been on, my friend has a $3,000 PC, and if fucking shit performs like shit, no, I'm spoiled. I will not go back to I will not play any product that can't pull at least 30 frames consistently. Never. And that's half of what I'm getting here. Half. I'll pay. They can have my money. These guys can take my money. They can have it. They can have my money. I got to get going, though. You know, Square Enix can have my money. They can have it. Because they're delivering quality of a product. And every day of the week, I will pay for that shit. I will pay for it gladly. I will pay for quality every day. Yeah, it's theme park. You know, there's certain, I mean, it's linear, it's theme park, it's turn-based. I didn't even think I'd be coming back to a turn-based game, to be honest with you guys. I didn't think I would. I didn't think it. I didn't believe I would ever go back to a turn-based product. Ever. But here I am. You know, I'm back in a turn-based product, and I have to ask myself, why am I picking one game over another? Well, it's what content is being presented and the quality of service that's, you know, offered. Like PvP, this game's not really good in PvP at the moment. I wouldn't recommend this game for PvP. I wouldn't. I would not. But no one can argue about the quality of service. Nobody. It's like, okay, you know, proof is in the pudding. I've said that, right? Have I said that? Proof is in the pudding. And if my latency like starts going terrible, I'm like, okay, well, here's this issue. Okay, so I need to take a look at this. But when my frames drop, and my latency is, I'm like, well, time out, man. Something's fucked. Something's fucked here. Now, then I'll get on another product, and I own Guild Wars 2. I own Black Desert Online. I don't pay monthly subs for those. Like you, those are alt games of mine. I don't have to pay for them. I own them. I can play them whenever. But I'll pay a monthly sub game. I own World of Warcraft. It's canceled, but I own it. I own ESO. I own DC. I own these game titles. So when I get on a game, and when I get on, I'll literally jump from one game to another and test my frames. I will test the quality of my graphics at its settings, meaning what's the visual standard that I can push out, the max graphics I can push out with my GPU, my current configuration that's in the game without readjusting, set it to high, get the frames per second, jump onto the other product and do a comparison. And if I can't, and if I have to make an adjustment on one product, that's fine. Okay, this is graphically more intense, so I'm going to have to adjust. Okay, that's fine. I'll do that. And I'll drop it down. I'll drop down the frames, and or the graphics intensity. I'll, cut out some of the texturing and things like that to try to optimize my performance. I'll make sure my cache clear is, I clear out, do a memory dump. I'll do all that. But when I can't pull at least 30 frames, done. It doesn't take much to run WoW. Right. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, Final Fantasy 11 and Final Fantasy 14 are not for PvPers. No. It has PvP, but this is definitely not it's not up to my standards. It's here, and this is one thing I love. Okay. And I'll get into this. I like the fact they're in the right direction, right? Because they have the right direction because of the system right here. You can literally pick your PvP abilities are kept separate from PvE, right? The way all of these skills work, it's the same skills, limited, but if they adjust anything in the PvP skills, it doesn't reflect the PvE. It was brilliant. Because when you go into the PvP, the way an ability works in PvE will sometimes be adjusted for PvP without, changing it in its PvE format. It was fucking brilliant. It's brilliant to do it in that way. Right? It has purpose. The problem is not here. It has nothing to do with any of this. That's not where the problem lies in PvP in this game. The objectives are not the problem in the PvP in this game. This is the problem with the PvP in this game. Is this. So we have a season because this game's competitive in PvP. So we have competitive PvP that offers very enticing rewards for the top 100 players. You don't have to be number one, but you have to get in the top 100. And it's enticing because those are usually like limited time mounts and things like that and other perks. Which you can use your currency and get skins or whatever, glamour skins. But the problem of it is when everybody in the opening season will always hit ranked feast. Right? So we have Borderland Ruins. This hardly ever queues. Frontlines don't queue very often. Rival Wings hardly queue. We have Feast and we have Frontline, Feast, Rival Wings, and then we have Custom, which mine's locked still. Custom's really good though too because then you can get with a group of people and just fuck off in PvP. But the problem of it is when people are queuing, they'll mass queue, get their ranking system up, and then they don't even queue. And the queue system only allows you to queue one, so you can't multi-queue. Like in World of Warcraft, we could multi-queue different PvP, and we would get our queues associated, and that made PvP queue times fast. So the problem of it is because it's not cross-servered, because of its competitive ranking system, and you're limited to the players on your server, and then the ranking system being applied and people trying to get their highest gear or highest score rank, the queues start dropping in the middle, about a month between the season. So that's the problem. They need to fix this. That needs addressed. We're getting a new PvP feature. It's not because of the combat. It's not. It's not because of the objective. It's not. It's because of the way the ranking system and the queue system's designed is the problem. That's why you get Xbox One 30 frames per second, except when the server lagged in PvP. Dude, okay, Dave, I have a computer that has higher settings than a Pro and an Xbox One X. This PC is higher than those. And I still can't even get 30 frames on ESO. I can't even fucking get it. I have a hyper-thread gaming board. It's ridiculous. I bought a new Mobo. I have an 8 core processor. An 8 core. Not even a 6. I have an 8 core processor. I have 3 point something gigahertz. It's like 3.2 something or something crazy. It's not even a 3.4. My dude has a 3.6 processor. He has the i7. And he lags in Elder Scrolls. He's got a fucking $3,000 system, not even including his monitors. And Elder Scrolls, and I played on it. It runs like shit. It's fucking trash. Sorry. It's fucking trash. It's trash. And the devs have admitted that the fucking servers are shit. They've admitted there's problems. So nobody's going to justify it's because of this system or your internet connection. No, it's their servers are trash. They've been trash. They are trash. They're fucking trash. They're trash. When I can pull 60 frames on the same system on any given other product, and I can only pull 15 to 20 in ESO, that's a problem. That's a fucking problem. That's a huge problem. That's a huge problem. That's not even a little. That's a lot. It's a problem, man. It's not because Elder Scrolls... what pissed me off about Elder Scrolls? The bugs and performance. I've said it. It's just the reason I left. People are pissed because I left Elder Scrolls. Don't hate me. Hate the fucking company. The greedy motherfuckers who aren't putting money back into their product. There you have it. And that's why I'll throw money to a game. I will throw money to a game who takes care of its consumers. Say, oh, don't worry, guys. We got this. We congested the other day ago in this game. Last week. Within 48 hours, they resolved it. Within 48 hours. They're like, oh, there's a hiccup in our queue system. Don't worry, guys. We're on it. It'll be up. They'll be fixed by tomorrow. They're not optimized different, dude. You're talking to a nerd. I have over 20 MMOs on this desktop. I have over 20 MMOs. Over 20. They're not optimized different. You're not telling me the graphic visuals are different. And when I can play Black Desert, which has higher end quality graphics than fucking ESO, and I'm still pulling better frames. And dude, you heard ZOS, the devs at ZOS even admit there's... Okay, let's take a look at it. Somerset, Mid-Year Mayhem, push back a month. Why? Performance. True or not true? True or not true? Endless loading screens. True or not true? Bar swap problems. True or not true? That's not optimization. That's shit servers. You can defend it. Defend it what you want, but you can't deny it. It's like I told Sherman. I'm like, Sherman, you can't say it's a Wi-Fi issue. You can't. I'm one of the biggest fucking nerds you'll ever meet. And it's not IP. It's not even a static issue. It's not your ISP. It's their IP. It's their IP. all together, every day, all day. I'm like, I'm a huge nerd. I'm a junkie. I used to build my rigs from probably toasters, parts when I was a kid. When I used to roll DOS, my stepdad was a computer programmer for a company. So I grew up in a house with a programmer who babysitted giant servers, mega servers at the time they were called, but they weren't those weren't mega servers. Basically, he worked at a communications company, and they would the servers were still processing binary, and then he went from binary to a DOS format, and then of course later on they took out, but before he retired, took out the servers, implemented the new server line, and ran the new Linux system, which was, well, they did that before he retired, like a decade before. But he used to even run binary, the old magnetic strip servers. And I literally I was in a house like that. I was like, my dad's a truck driver, but the guy that I lived with for years, who basically raised me like his son, my sister's dad, he was a computer programmer. That's how I learned all this stuff. That's how I learned it. I'm like a huge nerd. Like huge. He used to make me, like, if something went wrong with the computers, we had 4 computers in the house. So if something went wrong, I had to re-implement anything that was hardware. Everything on hardware. What do you think's broken? I don't know. It just stopped working. Well, let's find out. What's the first thing you're going to do to diagnose it? I'm like, it's not even going to turn on. And he's like, okay, so what's our next step? I had to learn that way. Right? And I did. Right? I did. So, what I'm saying is Elder Scrolls is the shittiest fucking servers for an MMO ever. Ever. It's not your ISP. It's not your server connection. It's their IP and their virtual. If they're and I think they're running a VA scaling. They're like hardware, but their ports are getting fucked from their virtual. I think that's what's going on. I don't know. I'm not there. I haven't seen it. I mean, I'm not a tech, but whatever, man. Whatever. I wish them luck. I'm not going back. I'm spoiled. It's like someone's like, you're going back to Elder Scrolls? No, I didn't order elsewhere. I didn't fucking order elsewhere. No. I mean, are they going to do good with the Necromancer? I'm sure. Am I going back? No. No. Why? Because it runs like shit. It's the goddamn worst running game in fucking I've played since Dial-Up. Dial-Up's more reliable than Elder Scrolls. It's more reliable. But don't ever sit here and say, "Oh, it's because, you're running the Xbox and not the One X." My PC smokes all those. Except the new one coming out, which is probably almost as well. They have 3 systems that are coming out for Xbox. So like the top end one is going to be insane. And then the PS5 will be almost on par with what I'm running. Except I'll have 8, and that's a 6 core. So, but yeah, no, my rig smokes it. That's why I'm playing on my rig. I can play this on my console. I can play on my PlayStation. I prefer on my console. Why? Because I have a better system on my PC. I have a better system. Gaming rig. But it doesn't matter. Like literally, I could get on a Pro. I can get on a 1X. That shit is still going to run like shit. No matter what platform I set it on. And when I can literally take a look at my frames per second in real time and know that there's a problem with the internal server, there's a problem between, the IP and the relayed information, and there's a clog between because of bar swap, you can even tell. I even told him, I even messaged him, you have a 1 point something delay between the time associated between command and relay. You need to take a look because that's something going on within the network coding that's being channeled. They just, we just ignore Mystic. Okay, fine. I'm just trying to throw you guys some help. But if you guys don't want to look at it, fuck it. Fuck it. Don't listen to me. I just don't care. But it's the truth. That everybody, like, Despotic threw a video. Despotic threw a video, and he did a clip from a live stream, and you could see the latency jumps in PC when the latency was spiking. You could see it. I was like, oh my god, dude. I'm like, that is like the shittiest lag spike ever. And people will always say they'll die when the 1vxers say we're dying because of lag. And I guarantee you, PC players are snobs. And they're snobs for a reason. Because a PC gamer takes his gaming serious. Like, consoles are great. Consoles have developed, and the next-gen consoles are basically, the X is a computer. It's what it is. The Pro is a computer. The next-gen consoles are computers. Small computers. They'll be able to do anything. Anything. As a computer would. But a gamer, like my friend, he's cross-fired with, like, literally 1,500. Actually, his sprig's like 4 or 5 grand, actually, now I think about it. Because his video cards alone cost 1,500 each. So he has two $1,500 video cards in his system. He has an i7 and a huge ass fucking rig. And Elder Scrolls runs like poop. Now, PC gamers do take their rigs serious. They are very hardcore gamers. They will fork out tons of money in hardware. And if they're putting out all that hardware and performance is an issue, I can guarantee you a PC gamer is never going to say, it must be my hardware. It must be because the optimization's different. No, they're going to say one thing. Your fucking servers suck ass. Potato servers. Thank you. Thank you, Monster. Right. They're fucking shit. They're fucking shit. ESO is not about the quality of the game or its content or it's the context. It's the quality. It's the quality. It runs like fucking poop. And who do you blame? Not the devs. You blame the fucking board. Get fucking it fixed. You put money in it. Stop being greedy, you son of a bitches, and fix it. No more. You can't throw me an excuse. I supported the game for 3 years. You had my money. I love the game. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. But I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying for that service. No. I'm not even buying a chapter. I'm not buying a service. I'm not buying anything until they fix that fucking servers. They're not getting a dime from me. They can kiss my motherfucking ass. And now that I'm spoiled, my expectation just went higher than fuck. Nowadays, ESO servers can barely handle the numerous game events going on. Large ping spikes in major cities and graphics rendering takes such a time. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't tell me it's because of the difference between the Xbox. I love you, David. Don't get me wrong. I love you, brother. But don't fucking come and tell me it's because of the difference between the Xbox One and the Xbox One X. No. Goddamn no. That's like fucking Sherman. I love Sherman. I love him to death. But when he was talking about Wi-Fi and ISP, I'm like, Sherman, I can guarantee your ass. It is not an ISP on anybody's end. I'm hardlined, and I can go by the frames and I could go by the clock, like how it clocks. Like, I take my gaming serious. Like, I take my gaming to a whole new level of, like, when I'm clocking, I test clock on third-party background software, and I will clock every goddamn thing I can. And if I'm telling you ESO servers are shit, they are fucking shit. They're fucking shit. They're fucking shit. And I'm spoiled now. I am spoiled because of Square Enix. I'm spoiled. I get 60 frames consistently. 45 to 60 frames, and I'm in a populated area. Like I said, if I'm in a raid, I get 45 to 60. If I'm in a populated area in Elder Scrolls, I can't get but 20. And you need anything over 30, anything that's pulling at least 30 frames won't jump. If you're pulling at least 30 frames a second, you won't get what we call rubber banding. Anything under 30 frames per second, you get a rubber banding between the information that's being sent. We called it rubber banding back in the day. But all it was like literally information that you're sending that to the server, to their IP, it pings back, right? It stretches like rubber, and then it flings it. It kind of like would offset, and you get that delay, right? So you would see yourself moving forward, and then you kind of jump back. It's because of the server response time between the frames, right? So anything under 30 frames, you get fucked. You get like a lag, and you get visual errors and all sorts of shit. So, anyways, I gotta wrap this up, but yeah, don't underestimate the what a game can do. Can Elder Scrolls be the game that it's designed to be? Yeah, it's there. All the foundations are there. I love Elder Scrolls. I think Elder Scrolls is one of like the most awesomest concepts of an MMO. Is it delivering? Yeah, to a certain degree, as it is, and it will continue to do so. But once again, if you're missing something in any company, shit can go bad. In Blizzard shows that. You know, Blizzard was the top dog, and they've tumbled. You know, they've kind of taken a like oopsie. You know, we totally couldn't read your minds. Nobody was asking you to read your consumer's mind. Your consumers were telling you what they wanted to see, what they were expecting. You didn't miss the mark. You ignored the target altogether. And when a company with that much resources and that much capability misses an entire target, it's because they weren't looking to begin with. They thought they knew where they were aiming, and they had no clue what they were firing with. Elder Scrolls isn't an issue with the game. It's an issue with its hardware. Okay? It's not the game. It's the shit-ass server. And if you want to pay for that, that's your prerogative. That is your choice. You can have it. You can deal with it. As a previous Elder Scrolls content creator, I paid for years on 3 platforms. Not 1, not 2, 3. Costing me on the average of $50 plus a month, and costing me hundreds of dollars a year in expansions or chapters. So when somebody's going to tell me that it's because of any console or anything, I'll say no, no, and no. It's the servers. They're just shit. You can go on any platform. You can go to PC, runs like shit. You can go on PS4. I promise you, it would still run like shit. You can go on PS4 Pro. It will run like shit. In comparison to other games, it might run a little better. I'll give you that. It's got a little bit more horsepower. Same thing with the Xbox One. Runs like shit. One X, yeah, runs a little bit better. Still not where it needs to be. So there it goes, man. Shit. Just shit. So it's a shit ass game, man. Sorry. Nobody's going to justify Elder Scrolls. Nobody's going to lure me back to Elder Scrolls. Nobody. People want me back. Do yourselves a favor. Cancel ESO. And then the company will be forced to make hard decisions. Because when they're making money, you guys are enablers. I'll tell you that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're enabling bad behavior from a company. Right? That's why I canceled Elder Scrolls months before I left it. Because I refuse to enable a company for not making the decision to invest in its product. After Somerset, I canceled. Because we were getting literally like froze in the middle of our games. Froze. Like froze. And I'm like, I'm tired. I cannot keep paying for this shit. And when you continue to pay a company for that quality, that's what they'll keep delivering to you. If you want to pay for shit, I promise you they will deliver the same shit to you. But when you stop paying, oh my, now we have a problem. We're losing money. Well, maybe they should have been investing it to begin with. To retain. Retention. I'll go back to it. You either retain it or you lose it. That's business 101, motherfuckers! Like easy. So, get it. That's on you, man. That's all on you guys. I'm not telling you what to do. I love you guys. I love you, David. I love everybody. I love all of you. But, no. I'm spoiled. I'm a spoiled gamer. I'm not an entitled gamer. I'm a spoiled gamer. And if I have the rig to run it, it should be running. Okay? There you have it. Anyways, man, I'm going to let you guys go. Once again, I'm Mr. Great. I'm back. What I miss. Are you still going on about that? Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, like, you're an enabler. I love you, but you're an enabler. So... Trying to say, oh, it's because of the Xbox One X. Shit. I'll buy NASA's computer, and I promise you, if I could buy NASA's computer, it'll get up to Elder Scrolls. I guarantee Elder Scrolls will crash that system harder than shit. Bill Gates couldn't build a computer to run Elder Scrolls better. I promise. Yeah, you did. You said the wrong thing. You're like, oh my god, Xbox One X runs better. No, it doesn't. Oh, fucking dumb. My dude has an Xbox. I played it on the Xbox One X. I played it on a $4,000 system. I played it on my systems. My systems, plural. No, it's shit. It's all shit. It's all crap. So, it's fucking shit, David. It's garbage. And if you want to pay them, I promise you every month they'll keep delivering it to you. I'm not paying for it. I am not paying another dime to ZOS for garbage. I refuse to enable. I tell my kids, I won't enable you to be a drunk driver. If you're going to drink and drive, why would I give you the money to purchase alcohol knowing what you're going to do? Same concept. Why am I going to keep giving Elder Scrolls money when I know they're not really going to do what needs to be done? Why? 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 No, I'm good. So, anyways, I'll let you guys go. I do apologize, but it's a good topic, man. When people ask, and I had people on PS4 ask me, why aren't you playing Elder Scrolls? It's not because of the content. It's because it runs like shit. It's official. It's the worst goddamn running MMO ever. Played it for 3 years. You do the testing. You tell me different. Don't worry. I'll wait. Forever. Because you won't ever prove it wrong. As always, have a nice day.